The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
From the Broadcast Center at BCIT's Burnaby Campus, this is All Talk Radio. You're listening to 1680 The Crow.
Good morning, I'm Ethan Van Dopp, and these are your news updates for 11 a.m. As wildfires continue to rage across much of Western Canada, a public information meeting regarding Fort Nelson evacuees is set to take place this afternoon. The meeting will be at the North Peace Arena in Fort St. John. Fort Nelson has been under an evacuation order since Friday due to the wildfires. Residents have been urged not to return to their homes by Mayor Rob Fraser. The Association of Neighborhood Houses BC is hosting an event to celebrate the community and services that the neighborhood house provides. Reporter Matthias Jones tells us about an event being held on Main Street for what ANHBC calls Neighborhood House Day.
For Neighborhood House Day 2024, ANHBC is hosting an event at Heritage Hall on Main Street. ANHBC says it is a, quote, free celebration of community with neighborhood houses across BC, end quote. The event will have a marketplace, multiple performances, a dream space, and an indoor patio. The Association of Neighborhood Houses BC oversees 8 neighborhood houses in Vancouver and runs more than 500 programs through these centers. The mission of the association is to bring a diversity of people together to build strong relationships through their programs and services. Typical demographics seen at neighborhood house programs are seniors and newcomers to Canada. The association is excited to bring people together at their sold-out event from 11 to 7 today. Matthias Jones for BCIT's The Crow.
A judge from Quebec's Superior Court has refused McGill University's injunction request to dismantle the pro-Palestinian encampment on its downtown Montreal campus. Giuseppe Valentin of the Canadian Press explains the judge's reasoning.
Justice Marc St. Pierre says the university did not prove the situation at the encampment was sufficiently urgent to justify an injunction. He says in a written decision that the case raises questions of fundamental and conflicting rights that are too complex to be decided quickly. Lawyers for the university asked the school on Monday to order the protesters to stop occupying its grounds and to authorize Montreal police to assist the school in dismantling the encampment. But the judge says there have not been any serious or violent incidents since the tents went up on April 27th. Giuseppe Valianti, The Canadian Press, Montreal.
A man has pled guilty in the fatal shooting of an off-duty New Orleans police officer and his friend in Houston. Frederick Jackson received a 60-year prison sentence related to the 2021 shooting during a holdup at a Houston restaurant. According to police, New Orleans Police Detective Everett Briscoe and Dyron DJ McCulphy were dining at a restaurant patio in August 2021 when 2 men approached the car and shot them after attempting to rob them. U.S. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump have agreed to participate in 2 presidential debates. The debates will take place on June 27th and September 10th, hosted by CNN and ABC News. The debates will be hosted at CNN's Atlanta studio with no audience present. The United States and Japan have signed an agreement to develop a new type of missile defense system in order to defend against the growing threat of hypersonic weapons. Russia and China both possess these weapons, while North Korea has also begun testing with hypersonic weapons. Slovakia's president spoke today on the shooting of the country's prime minister, condemning the shooting as an attack on democracy. Charles Ledesma of the Associated Press reports.
President Zuzana Kaputova, a political rival of PM Robert Fico, said in a televised statement, a physical attack on the Prime Minister is first of all an attack on a person, but it's also an attack on democracy. Any violence is unacceptable. The hateful rhetoric we've been witnessing in society leads to hateful actions, she says. Please, let's stop it. Kaputova says the shooter was arrested but gave no details about him. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
The son-in-law of a top political opponent of Venezuela's president has pled guilty to money laundering charges in a federal court in Miami. Fernando Vuitef admitted to earning more than $4 million from a Spanish real estate company, as well as financial institutions in Europe and Malta. Vuitef was part of a conspiracy to siphon over $1 billion from a state-owned oil company. Now on to weather. This morning, it is a high of 18 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. The temperature is expected to drop to 11 degrees into the night. Thursday, there's a chance of showers with a high of 15 degrees during the day. That has been your 11
Stay
o'clock
tuned
news
for
update.
more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded